Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Kaylan Alex. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much for tuning in. Today, guys, we're going to chat about some things that I have purchased and kind of sort of regret. Now, it's very rare that I regret buying things, but then sometimes I like get an item, I'm using it, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know if I love this anymore. I don't really know if it really fits into what I want. So those are the items that made this list. So let's just get started. First thing I'm gonna mention are shoes. The first pair of shoes I have on the list are a pair of Louis Vuitton high top sneakers that I got and was absolutely in love with when I first purchased them. I don't really know what I was going for when I got these sneakers because they are not my style. They're not really a pair or a style of shoe that I would typically wear when it comes to sneakers or trainers. But this one, for some reason, I was like, you know what, I have to have it. And when I got it, don't get me wrong, I was super excited about getting it, but I just now feel like, I think I've worn that shoe maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've had it for at least 3 years. It may be 4. It may be 4 years that I've had this shoe, and I've worn it 3 times. And I'm giving it 3 because I really think it's 2. I'm just giving it that extra time because maybe I put it on for something. I really have not worn this shoe at all. I thought that the idea that I had in mind was that when I wore, you know, sweats and like outfits, like lounging around, kind of like just casual athleisure style outfits, I would put this sneaker on with it. But honestly, I have not done that. I have my other sneakers that are more of like a low top. The trainers from Chanel is that type of sneaker that I typically would wear more so than this high top one. I just really have not had any use for it. It really doesn't really fit into my personality. Now, another thing that I was thinking when I purchased this shoe is that I really wanted the Jordan Bred ones, the red and black ones, the OG version. I really wanted those, but I'm just refused to pay the premium that is on that shoe. So I was like, okay, this is a high top. It's Louis Vuitton. It's one of my favorite brands. I wanted this high top. Let's try to fuse the two together. And this is kind of like what I get. And that's what I thought that I would like. But since I've had that shoe, like I said, I've worn it maybe 3 times. And it just, I don't ever think about reaching for it. I know that it's there. And I honestly try to figure out ways that I could wear it. But it's just not happening. It's just not happening, and I have not worn it, but it's still there. So that is the first item on the list. The next one is a pair of Bottega Veneta heels. It is going to be the, I think it's Lido, I think that's the name of it. It's the padded mule shoe, the heel version. This is classic Bottega, but honestly, I have not worn it either. Now, this one is a one that I feel like I regret so much. Like I don't wear it, but because I do wear it, it's just one of those shoes that I don't wear as often. I don't wear it a lot. The same with the mesh version. I got those in a green, and I got the padded, the Lido ones in white. The white, very good color because I can wear it a lot. I just don't wear that shoe a lot. The mesh one I got in a green that I feel like I should have gotten in more of a neutral color because then I would wear it more. But it's also a shoe that I feel like is more fun. So I wanted that in a color, which was the green, the Bottega green. And these are just 2 pairs of shoes that I do not wear. And it's kind of ironic because they're super popular right now. So there's lots of inspo for wearing this shoe. It's just like I feel for me and in my wardrobe and in my lifestyle, I just don't gravitate towards them because it's just not something that fits well. But I enjoy having them in my collection. So I don't know. It's kind of like this back and forth thing. I don't want to get rid of them because I feel like they are shoes that when I have a certain look in mind or a certain outfit, they go perfectly with that. But as far as just like whenever I'm getting dressed, the first thing that comes to mind, it's not either one of these shoes. In fact, I think the mesh ones I may have just worn for the first time a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Now, granted, I got that shoe, I think I got that shoe when I was pregnant or right before, somewhere in there, so I couldn't really wear it. And I think it was going into the fall time. Whenever I got that shoe, I knew I couldn't really wear it at the time, but I knew that after the fact I would be able to. So we're here now, and I still haven't just picked it up. But like I said, there are still pairs of shoes that I enjoy having in my collection, and I don't see myself like getting rid of. But if I would not have gotten them, I would have been perfectly fine. I would not have said, let me go and get this shoe. I would not have wanted to go get the shoe if I didn't have it already. You catch my drift? So that's why they made the list. So moving on to handbags. Child. There's honestly quite a few handbags that could have made this list, but I narrowed it down to about 4. And we're gonna talk about why. And I would say these are pretty classic styles of bags, or like classic bags, but I just feel like they weren't for me and I should not have gotten it. The first one being the Dior saddlebag. Now, this one, I'm pretty sure I'm getting tomatoes thrown at me. I'm pretty sure. But, okay, so I got this bag in a navy blue smooth leather. I think my issue here was the fact that it was the smooth leather, and I prefer the grained leather in the saddlebag because I feel like it looks a bit more structured and a bit more, I just like the way the grained leather looks in this bag for some reason. The smooth leather is also a little bit more delicate, so if it gets nicked, scratched, or anything, it's very much so like noticeable. You can see it a little bit easier, of course, than the grain leather. You don't really see that, and I feel like you don't have to be as careful with it when it comes to the leathers. And then also the fact that it was in a navy blue. Now, the navy blue really didn't bother me because if it was a navy blue in the calf skin, I would definitely, I mean, in the grained leather, I think they're both calf skin, but if it was a grained version, I would have 100% still been here for it. The fact that it was that smooth leather, I was like, this is just not fitting well in my lifestyle. It's just not working out for me. And I just felt like I was holding on to that bag and wasn't doing anything with it. I hardly ever reached for it outside of initially getting the bag. Once I put it up and changed out, I never really went to grab that bag. I ended up selling that one, but I wish I would have waited to find the grained leather because that is the version that I actually liked the best. I also didn't really care for the fact that the strap, it is one that can be worn on the shoulder, but it's right up under your arm. I mean, that's the classic version. Like, that's nothing like new, but it does limit you to how you can wear it if you don't want it like right up under your arm. That's where it's gonna be. You could buy the guitar strap, which I bought. I still feel like I didn't really care for it because it was either way too long with the guitar strap or way too short with it on the shoulder. Now, I also don't think that it needs a longer strap because that just takes away from the bag. So it's kind of like just one of those things where if you like the way the strap fits on your arm or sits on your shoulder, you like it or you don't. I don't really think that there's any tweaking that can be done there. This is, like I said, a classic style bag. This is on brand for Dior. This is their signature style. So, you know, you don't really change or alter the signatures, but for me, it just wasn't, I just couldn't do it. That's kind of just like where I am with it. It wasn't something that I feel like I had to have in my collection. It just wasn't practical for me and in my lifestyle. That's another thing. The shape of the bag, it doesn't really, it holds a lot for the shape and how it's, you know, made, but at the same time, it doesn't hold as much as you would need in your handbag, especially if you're using it as an everyday bag. It fits like normal stuff, but not enough to where you can wear it every day and have everything you need in the bag, at least for me. And I don't even carry a lot in my bag. I maybe carry 4 things: my cell phone, my keys, my card holder, and my like a lip gloss, lipstick, something of the sort. It will fit that, but that's about it. And I will say that it fit my Toiletries 15. It was a snug fit, but it fit. But of course, I keep all of my items in the Toiletries 15, so it wasn't like it fit that plus more. The next item I have on the list is the Louis Vuitton Nice. I know. In the larger size. I know someone's trying to wring my neck through the screen. I already know. Hear me out. Okay, so with the Nice, I feel, okay, we know that it is a toiletry bag. It comes in different sizes, so you can get the size that is more conducive for your lifestyle. I had the larger one. I think it was in the back on the shelf in my older videos, if I can remember correctly. Very nice bag. A lot of people wear it as a handbag. However, I feel as though it should be left as a toiletry bag because it just looks more like a toiletry bag, but to each his own. It can be worn very nicely as a handbag. So I feel like this bag in the larger version is almost too large to be a toiletry pouch, and it takes up a lot of space when you're talking about packing luggage, packing things in a luggage. So when you're traveling and you have like a lot of things that you need to fit in this suitcase, adding a big item that takes a lot of space for just toiletries kind of like doesn't help your case at all. It doesn't help. It makes it a little bit inconvenient because now you've taken up space that you could use for clothes and things like that. And it's just for toiletries. I find this bag to be a bit large and awkward when you're talking about packing it just for your toiletries. Now, you can definitely fit a whole lot in it, but it also takes up a lot of space, and that was my biggest issue with it, was the fact that it took up so much more space. I found the Toiletries 26 to be more conducive for traveling and packing, and it saved more space than the Nice. Now, that is also because of the way that they're shaped, which is, you know, my little grievance here. I feel like the Nice, because it's shaped more like almost like a handbag, it is a bit more structured. It's wider, it's taller. It just has more to it. It's more of a bag than the Toiletries 26, which is a little slimmer. It can fit flat on things. It does hold quite a bit. It holds all of the things that you would need in your toiletry pouch or carry-on or things like that. And it fits easily. It fits more easily than the Nice. And I feel like that is kind of why it made the list. I do like the small version, but I just feel like it doesn't fit as much as the larger one, of course, because they're different sizes. But if you just love the Nice and you just had to have the Nice, then okay, I guess. But I feel like the toiletry styles are a better fit when you're talking about traveling, actually using them for the purposes of toiletries. For me, at least, and in my opinion, than the Nice, unless you are using it as a handbag, or if you just have like a lot of space and you don't really mind the space that it takes up, go for it. In my humble opinion, I find the Toiletries to be a little bit more practical when it comes to packing. Okay. With that being said, I would consider getting the nano version because it is small. But then again, I'm just like, I don't know that it would be super, you know, useful because it is small. So it's kind of like I have the Toiletries 15, and anything that I need to fit that small into, like I already have something that is small like that. So there's really no need for it at this point. Maybe down the line, my mind will change about it. But as for right now, I just don't feel like it is something that I needed in my collection, and hence why she's no longer here. Last item that I have on the list is the Louis Vuitton Petite Sac Plaque in the monogram. I know, it's another one. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This bag, I actually really like. I like the style of this bag. I like everything besides the fact that I got it in the monogram. Now, initially I wanted the epi in the black, but Ashley wanted that, which is my sister. She wanted the epi, and we were like, there's no need of us both getting this same exact thing, which I don't know why we even thought that, because we do that all the time, buy the same exact thing. But we were just like, okay, one of us get this one, the other one get that one. I don't know why I did that. Because, okay, initially I was like, okay, I can deal with it. It's monogram, it's Louis Vuitton, like it's no big deal. I have monogram things, you know what I mean? But after having it, I'm just like, I don't even reach for it. If I want a Louis Vuitton monogram bag, I always pick up my Petite Boyette Chapeau little handbag. I never really pick up this bag. I think I've worn it once, and it was really for photos. I don't really think that I've worn this bag. Yeah, I think I maybe worn it once, maybe twice that I've worn this bag. And I feel like I would have gotten much more use out of it had I gotten the epi in a color other than black. It ended up coming out in, I think, like a lime green, a pink, blue, and then of course the black. Yeah, it came in like a few different colors that I wish I would have waited to get a color, because I think it would have been a little bit more, I would have grabbed for it a little bit more, because it would have offered me something different that I did not already have. Like, I already have a small monogram style bag that I prefer. So getting this one in the monogram just wasn't like something that I feel like I needed in my collection. Now, it is also something that I don't feel like I just have to get rid of. I have considered just to see, you know, what would it, you know, I guess, what is it going for? But again, this is just not a bag that I gravitate towards. As far as size, style, and things like that, it is very small. It doesn't really hold a whole lot. Typically, when I have worn this bag or used this bag, I have only been able to fit my phone, my card holder, and then a lipstick. If I stuff it, I can fit like a pack of gum or, you know, sanitizer or something like that. But all in all, it doesn't really fit a whole lot. It literally carries the bare necessities that you would need to get out of the house. It doesn't really fit my card holder and my key ring holder at the same time, especially with the phone. It does not fit all three. So typically I would take off my my house key with this bag, or sometimes I'll just carry my phone if I don't want to take it off and I want to have all my keys together and carry my card holder. I won't put my phone in it. So it's kind of like Tetris. You kind of have to figure out what is most important, what do you want to carry the most, and go from there, because it does not hold a lot. So that is just kind of like one of the other grievances I had with it. I even tried to like add a bandeau to it, which I feel like makes it look a little bit more different and just, you know, extra. But I wish I would not have gotten it in the monogram, simply put. So guys, that is going to be it for this video. I tried to keep it short. I tried to keep it to things that I have, you know, just barely used, but have been a little bit more recent kind of ish. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, drop a nice comment down below, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I post again, and I will see you in the next video.